Yeah, let's jump right in. Shannon and Shay here, Srimad Bhagavatam Study. I'm ridiculously pumped for tonight because the freaking creation of the universe we are about to read about.
What is your path to Dharma?
The freaking creation of the universe we are about to read about. I just saw the first few pages. I swear I didn't read ahead, but I could barely help myself. So let's start with the obeisances.
Coming deep from Kali Yuga,
Welcome,
the
friends. Welcome.
Path to Dharma podcast. Welcome back. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one must offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasudev, the author. By attending regular classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
Ow, let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Okay, so here we are, Path to Dharma podcast. Thank you so much for joining us back. As we said, I'm Shannon. This is my beautiful daughter Shay, and we are really excited to be where we've been working our way through the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
It's getting good. Let me just say that it is
Okay.
getting good.
So we are on Canto 2, Chapter 5.
Yeah,
Text 1.
text one. But before we start, I actually noticed that we have been saying this beautiful I don't know, obeisancy before we start reading, but I also just wanted to throw out a little prayer to the universe before we begin because I'm a prayerful person and I love to pray. So I just want to actually send a prayer out to the universe, and I just want to thank Krishna, my beloved Sri Krishna, for sending this book to us. And I just want to just praise the universe right now and just ultimate obeisances to the Supreme Lord, the goddess of the universe. And I welcome any and all knowledge that the universe would like to impart to us. I receive with gratitude. I'm so grateful to know all this. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let's go.
Hare Krishna.
I'm in a mood tonight, Shay. You may have noticed I'm in a mood tonight. I've been this way since, I don't know, for a few days now. I'm not sure what it is. Jupiter just went into Taurus and I'm feeling good. That is it.
Well, let's begin. Canto
Actually,
2.
Jupiter's been in Taurus, but it's getting real close to my sun. Okay, let's
Canto 2, Chapter
go.
5. The cause of all causes.
Yes. Okay. Are we just going to go back and forth? Me, you, me, you?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Another thing I want to announce
Please go
on this
for it.
episode. Because of my love for Sri
Yes.
Narada Muni, and because he's so freaking magical and everything he says just lights up my soul, we decided that whenever he shows up, we wanted to do a little bit of a theme song. Actually, it's not really a song. It's like a theme sound. He needs a
Yes.
theme sound because, and I don't have a vina. And if I did, I swear I would be playing it, but I don't. Instead, I have chimes.
And please, Sri Narada, take this as our obeisances unto you.
You
A little
are
bit of energy his way. Our
seriously
way.
complete badass of the universe. Sri Narada.
Spaceman or spiritual spaceman.
Yes, our spiritual spaceman. Sri Narada Muni.
I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear.
Oh, no, 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 no. We can't have that. All right, let's bring it over. Let's bring it over here. Sri Narada Muni. No?
No, I still can hear it.
Oh, come on.
I swear.
Well, you know what? Narada hears it.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Please be patient with me, everyone. I'm feeling a little nutty tonight, and it's all good. It's
No,
all
it's okay.
it's all from joy. It's like literally, I'm
Yes.
just feeling ridiculously joyful. Text one. Sri Narada Muni asked Brahmaji, O chief amongst the demigods, O firstborn living entity, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Please tell me that transcendental knowledge which specifically directs one to the truth of the individual soul and the supersoul. Do tell. Do
My
tell.
dear Father, please describe factually the symptoms of this manifest world. What is its background? How is it created? How is it conserved? And under whose control is all this being done?
My dear father, all that is known to you scientifically, because whatever was created in the past, whatever will be created in the future, or whatever is being created at present, as well as everything in the universe, is within your grip, just like a walnut. I love that.
My dear Father, what is the source of your knowledge? Under whose protection are you standing, and under whom are you working? What is your real position? Do you alone create all entities with material elements by personal energy?
Oh my gosh. Thank you for the universe for giving me this text.
Oh, look at the
Because
next one. Did you see the next
seriously,
one?
first of all, as a little background, everyone, I love spiders and I'm like
Always
obsessed just
have.
slightly with spiders, and I don't know why. The first book I learned to read was called Spiders Are Your Friends, and that might be it. But like, I get really excited when I see references to spiders.
I
Heck,
saved a spider today
thank you. Thank you.
because of you. You
Thank you.
instilled
I
that in
know
me.
it's true. I try to get everyone to save the spiders because actually spiders are your friends.
Yes, I literally gave this speech to 6 kids today.
Nice. I've done my job.
Thank you, spider.
Text 5. As the spider very easily creates the network of its cobweb and manifests its power of creation without being defeated by others, so also you yourself, by employment of your self-sufficient energy, create without any other's help. Beautiful.
Whatever we can understand by the nomenclature, characteristics and features of a particular thing, superior, inferior, or equal, eternal or temporary, is not created from any source other than that of your lordship. Thou is so great.
Yet we are moved to wonder about the existence of someone more powerful than you when we think of your great austerities and perfect discipline, although your good self is so powerful in the matter of creation.
My dear Father, you know everything and you are the controller of all. Therefore, may all that I have inquired from you be kindly instructed to me, so that I may be able to understand it as your student. Likewise.
Yes, Lord Brahma said, my dear boy Narada, maybe you can't hear it.
Do it anyway, energetically, baby.
My dear boy Narada. Yes, thank you. Being merciful to all, including me, you have asked all these questions because I have been inspired to see into the prowess of the almighty personality of Godhead.
Whatever you have spoken about me is not false because and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, one is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities.
No doubt. I create after the Lord's creation by his personal effulgence, known as the Brahmajyoti. Am I saying that right? Brahmajyoti. Brahmajyoti. Just as when the sun manifests its fire, the moon, the firmament, the influential planets, and the twinkling stars also manifest their brightness.
I offer my obeisances and meditate upon Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead, whose invincible potency influences them, the less intelligent class of men, to call me the supreme controller.
The illusory energy of the Lord cannot take precedence, being ashamed of her position. But those who are bewildered by her always talk nonsense, being absorbed in thoughts of, it is I, and it is mine. Wow.
Needed to hear that. Needed to hear all of that. All of
Yeah,
this.
nice.
Text 14. The 5 elementary ingredients of creation, the interaction thereof set up by eternal time, and the intuition or nature of the individual living beings are all differentiated parts and parcels of the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, and in truth there is no other value in them.
Yeah. The Vedic literature are made by and are meant for the Supreme Lord. The demigods are also meant for everything, are also meant for serving the Lord as parts of the body. I need to switch glasses. Excuse me, everyone.
Go ahead.
Can we heal my eyes already? Because it's so irritating having like eyes that don't work when you get old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The Vedic literatures are made by and are meant for the Supreme Lord. The demigods are also meant for serving the Lord as parts of his body. The different planets are also meant for the sake of the Lord, and different sacrifices are performed just to please him.
All different types of meditation or mysticism are means for realizing Narayana. All austerities are aimed at achieving Narayana? Yara,
Naranya.
Naranya.
Yeah.
Culture of transcendental knowledge is for getting a glimpse of Naranya, and ultimately salvation is entering the kingdom of Naranya.
Inspired by him only, I discover what is already created by him under his vision as the all-pervading super soul. And I also am created by him only.
The Supreme Lord is pure spiritual form, transcendental to all material qualities, yet for the sake of the creation of the material world and its maintenance and annihilation, he accepts through external energy the material modes of nature called goodness, passion, and ignorance.
It's almost like I want to go back and read it already again.
I know. I was just having those thoughts, I swear
Were
to you.
you? Because I'm like, wait, I need
Yes.
to slow down here for a second. Let's like back up, not back up, but like
Just take a second to take it in.
I need to take a second to take this in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just a little bit of the purport under text 17. It says, even Brahma, the creator of the universe, admits that he is not the actual creator, but is simply inspired by the Lord Naranya, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore creates under his superintendence those things already created by him, the super soul of all living entities. So it's like the layers of creation we're talking about, the super
Mm-hmm.
soul,
The
so
cause of all
the
causes.
cause of all causes. I just want
Yeah,
to let
this
that
is
sink
so
in for a
much.
second.
This is so much to really seriously take in.
And really, that line about like his body, right? The Vedic literatures are made by and are meant for the Supreme Lord. The demigods are also meant for serving the Lord as parts of his body. I mean, is this where we go back to that description we had of like Krishna's gigantic form, where it was
Mm,
like, his feet are I can't even say it all, but
right. His eyes, his toes, all
yeah,
of
all
it.
of that, all of that. So essentially, the demigods are part of like his hands, his eyes, his feet, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
all in the whole creation. And so are we in
Yeah.
some ways, right? Like,
No,
not in some
definitely.
ways, absolutely. And also, I am created
Absolutely.
by him.
And I love the
So wait a
illusory.
second. Okay, I just want to back up again. Wait to the beginning. Narada is talking to Brahma.
Yes.
Okay, this actually helps. Narada is talking to Brahma.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right. I think I'm tracking now. I think I'm tracking now. Okay. We are on what? Text
18.
18. Okay.
I'm gonna reread it.
Yeah.
That's where we just left off.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so much to take. It's
It's
like
a lot.
I
Yeah.
I understand why like me, okay, being different from your energy, okay, where you will just like devour things. I will sometimes read one single line and be like, "Whoa, how can I literally get past that? I need to like sit here and I could meditate upon this one thing for a lifetime,
Yeah.
a literal lifetime." And there's so much more to read. So even the pace that we're going at, it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
know. And people in the comments are like, take your time. And other
Yeah.
people are like, read every day. Can you read every day? And it's like, this is so much. It's mind-boggling.
Right?
Okay. Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 18. The Supreme Lord is pure spiritual form, transcendental to all material qualities, yet for the sake of creation of the material world and its maintenance and annihilation, he accepts through external energy the material modes of nature called goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Okay.
So those things are simply for the maintenance and the annihilation of the material world.
Sure. No, that makes sense though. These text 19, these three modes of material nature being further manifested as matter, knowledge, and activities, put the eternal transcendental living entity under conditions of cause and effect and make him responsible for such activities. Wow. Okay, so the three
Okay,
modes of
good.
material nature being further manifested as matter, knowledge, and activities.
Mm-hmm.
Put the eternally transcendental living entity under the conditions of cause and effect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
O Brahman and Narada, the superseer, the transcendent Lord, is beyond the perception and the material senses of the living entities because of the above mentioned three modes of nature.
Yeah.
But he is the controller of everyone, including me.
It's hard to wrap your mind around, truly.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord, who is the controller of all energies, thus creates by his own potency, eternal time, the fate of all living beings, the fate of all living entities, and their particular nature for which they were created. And he again merges them independently. Like
Mm-hmm.
every single one of us was created specifically as we are. I guess that's how
Mm-hmm.
I read that, exactly as we're supposed to be. The fate of all living entities. And we already know Krishna brings people together or separates them according to his own divine will. Narada already told us that. So just wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the purport to that one is pretty
It's pretty long.
hefty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty hefty.
Text 22. After the incarnation of the first Purusha, the Mahat Tattva, or the principles of material creation, take place, and then time is manifested. And in course of time, the three qualities appear. Nature means the three qualitative appearances. They transform into activities. So after the incarnation of the
Okay.
first Purusha,
Okay.
the Mahatattva, the
Yep.
principles of material creation, then take place.
Yeah.
And then
Time is manifested.
and in
And
course of
then,
time, the three
yeah,
qualities appear.
that makes
Nature
sense.
means the three qualitative
Right.
appearances.
And haven't we heard or read that this is a process that's going on like over and over? Like the
Yeah.
universe is created, it's sustained, and then it's destroyed and we start over again.
Yeah, the purport of text 21 was
Yeah.
really going into that.
Yeah.
It seemed just from my quick little glance over.
Yeah. Okay, text 23. Material activities are caused by the Mahatattvas being agitated. At first, there's transformation of the modes of goodness and passion, and later, due to the mode of ignorance, matter, its knowledge, and different activities of material knowledge come into play.
Hmm.
So that we can learn? Is that why?
Well, let's see.
It's really interesting because I just like want to just touch on that thing about due to the mode of ignorance. That's so,
Mhm.
yeah, keep going. Keep going. It's going to answer me
I
probably.
think so. I think it might. If it
Yeah.
doesn't, we can circle back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the answer is somewhere in here anyway.
Yeah.
The self-centered materialistic ego, thus being transformed into three features, becomes known as the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance in three divisions, namely the powers that evolve matter, knowledge of material creation, and the intelligence that guides such material activities. Narada, you are quite competent to understand this.
All
So
right,
the
everyone. I'm
self-centered materialistic ego, thus being
yeah.
transformed into
Yeah.
three features, becomes known as the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance in three divisions,
Okay.
namely the powers that evolve matter, knowledge
Yeah.
of material creations, and the intelligence that guides such materialistic activities. Narada, you are quite competent to understand this. It's seriously helpful to read it twice.
Yeah, it totally is. And I'm feeling errata because he's like sitting there eating this up, but like I'm barely hanging on to the understanding of it. Let me just say that.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, I am, but like it's actually pretty hard to kind of really comprehend all that. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
From the darkness of false ego, the first of the five elements, namely the sky, is generated. Its subtle form is the quality of sound, exactly as the seer is in relationship with the seen. Wow. Wow. Again, I'm like, I keep getting like stunned over every single text. I'm a little bit stunned. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is literally, we're reading how the universe is being created. So it's brought into form. It's almost like it starts to separate out, right? Like,
Yeah, that's what it seems.
yeah. And then these things start to emerge. They start to manifest. Namely, the sky now is generated. The subtle form is the quality of sound. And we already know, like, Om is the sound of the universe, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so sound is an important part of manifestation and creation. Where are we? Text 26 through 29. Okay. Because the sky is transformed, the air is generated with the quality of touch, and by previous succession, the air is also full of sound and the basic principles of duration of life, sense perception, mental power, and bodily strength. When the air is transformed in course of time and nature's course, fire is generated, taking shape with the sense of touch and sound. Again, since fire is also transformed, there is a manifestation of water, full of juice and taste. As previously, it also has form and touch and is also full of sound. And water, being transformed from all variegatedness on earth, appears odorous, and as previously, becomes qualitatively full of juice, touch, sound, and form, respectively. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So it's literally like the order of things, the order of the creation of things that we're actually like listening to
The
right now.
the first line of the purport just says it. The whole
Yeah.
process of creation is an act of gradual evolution and development from one element to another. And that's just what they're explaining.
Yeah. Wow.
And all
Wow.
the
Wow. Wow.
and how all the sense perceptions also evolutionary in that way.
Yeah. What do you suppose they mean by juice in this text? Because it says it's full of juice and taste. It's full of juice, touch, sound, and form. Like, what do they mean by that? What does that mean?
Well, which one had juice first?
Um, when the air is transformed in the course of time in nature's course, fire is generated, taking shape, touch, and sound. Fire, after fire, there's manifestation of water, full of juice and taste.
I think it's just like nutrient, like full of, you know, juice.
Nutrients,
Yeah, I think
the building
juice.
blocks of life kind of
Yeah,
thing. It's
if
like
you
they
think like,
say,
yeah,
like the
I think.
neutrinos or the what is that? Just all of the different things that we know that life has to have to exist.
Yeah,
Is that it?
I think the juice of life.
The
That's what
juice of
makes
life.
sense. That's what makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Text 30. From the mode of goodness, the mind is generated and becomes manifest, as also the 10 demigods controlling the bodily movements. Such demigods are known as the controller of directions, the controller of air, the sun god, the father of Daksa Prajapati, the Asvini Kumaras, the fire god, the king of heaven, the worshipful deity in heaven, the chief of the Adityas, and Brahmaji, the Prajapati, all come into
All
existence.
come into existence. Text 31. By further transformation of the mode of passion, the sense organs like the ear, skin, nose, eyes, tongue, mouth, hands, genitals, legs, and the outlet for evacuating, together with the intelligence and living energy, are all generated by
Wow.
the, yeah, by the modes of passion. That is how we make peoples.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
O Narada, best of the transcendentalists, the forms of the body cannot take place as long as these created parts, namely the elements, senses, mind, and modes of nature, are not assembled.
Thus, when all these became assembled by force of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the universe certainly came into being by accepting both the primary and secondary causes of creation. Is this the Big Bang now? Are we at
Kind
the
of
Big
seems
Bang?
like kind of seems like it.
Although they're slightly debunking the Big Bang right now, I thought, because of the JST telescope. The James Webb Space
Yeah.
Telescope has been finding out things about the universe that we did not know. And as far as I was reading, they're finding galaxies that they basically thought as the universe spreads out, it gets like, it should start to disorganize as it gets
Right.
farther away from the Big Bang. And that's not what they're finding. They're finding super old universes or super old galaxies and like systems way out there. And they're like, okay, it's
Yeah.
upending the whole thing, which, we're finding out right now as we speak how it actually happened.
We are. We really
Uh,
are.
okay, so where were we? I keep
Text
interrupting
34.
you.
Text 34. Thus all the universes remained thousands of aeons. Is that
Yeah,
word?
eons. Yeah,
That's eons?
eons is
Same thing.
how we usually say in English, to be honest. So
Okay. Thus all the universes remain thousands of eons within the water, the causal ocean, and the Lord of living beings, entering in each of them, caused them to be fully animated.
all the universes remained thousands of eons within the water, the causal ocean. Okay, do you remember the story of the gods churning the ocean?
Yes.
Yeah. The Lord Mahavishnu, although lying in the causal ocean, came out of it and dividing himself as Hiranyagarbha, he
Mhm.
entered into each universe and assumed the Virat Rupa with thousands of legs, arms, mouths, heads, etc. Amazing. Okay, so he's in the causal ocean. He enters into the universe with thousands of arms, legs, mouths, heads. Okay. It's so good. I just had to say it
It's
right.
so good. Great philosophers imagine that the complete planetary systems in the universe are displayed of the different upper and lower limbs of the universal body of the Lord.
Right. The Brahmanas represent his mouth, the Kshatriyas, his arms, the Vaisas, his thighs, and the Sudras are born of his legs. Wow.
Oh,
That's got to be
yes.
that's the castes, right?
Yeah, the four divisions of human society.
Mm,
The intelligent class, the Brahmins, the administrative class, the Satriyas, the mercantile class, the Vyasyas, and the laborer class, the
right.
Sudras. Text
Uh,
38.
yeah.
The lower planetary systems, up to the limit of the earthly stratum, are said to be situated in his legs. The middle planetary systems, beginning from Bhuvarloka, are situated in his navel, and the still higher planetary systems, occupied by the demigods and highly cultured sages and saints, are situated in the chest of the
Mm.
Supreme Lord.
From the forefront of the chest up to the neck of the universal form of the Lord are situated the planetary systems named Janaloka and Tapaloka, whereas Satyaloka, the topmost planetary system, is situated on the head of the form. The spiritual planets, however, are eternal. Yeah, it's getting deep now.
My dear son Narada, know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atala, is situated on the waist. The second, Vitala, is situated on the thighs. The third, Sutala, on the knees. The fourth, Talatala, on the shanks. The fifth, Mahatala, on the ankles. The sixth, Rasatala, on the upper portion of the feet. And the seventh of Patala, right? Yeah,
Mm.
on the soles of the feet. Thus, the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems.
Text 42. Others may divide the whole planetary system into 3 divisions, namely the lower planetary system on the legs up to the earth, the middle planetary systems on the navel, and the upper planetary systems from the chest to the head of the Supreme Personality. And that is the end of that chapter, second canto, 5th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Well, we definitely need to take that in a little bit. I just for sure want to read it.
100.
Want to read the next chapter, chapter 6. We'll for sure get into that. I've been reading a little bit of um, you know, a text that talks about the astrology.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of feel like everything. Well, I know everything's connected. So part of when I was talking about these planetary systems, my ears are like perking up because of the astrology big time.
Yeah.
Um, let's go to chapter 6. Purusa Sukta, confirmed. I don't know what that means at all, but I like it. Lord Brahma said, the mouth of the Virat Purusa, the universal form of the Lord, is the generating center of the voice, and the controlling deity is fire. His skin and 6 other layers are the generating centers of the Vedic hymns, and his tongue is the productive center of different foodstuffs and delicacies for offering to the demigods, the forefathers, and the general mass of people.
We almost have to read that again because I'm still stuck on trying to imagine everything that was just said in chapter 5.
I know.
Like honestly, it's like I need to like stop and think about like what
Wait, what?
the creation of what was that what was it called? The cause of all causes?
Yeah. This has
They just
been,
broke
it's
that down?
wild that this has been here on Earth this whole time. Do you know what I'm
Like
saying?
why?
Like at one point, and it wasn't that long ago, they literally just like I believe I don't know if they killed Copernicus or imprisoned him, but like he got in big trouble for saying that the sun like was the center of our solar system and that everything didn't go around the earth. And here we have this knowledge from like way back thousands of years before, deeply explaining everything. So
Yeah.
part of that is like blowing my mind, just blowing my mind. And it's almost like I keep seeing the images. If you've seen any of those images from the James Webb Space Telescope,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
almost like that's what we're reading
That
right now.
that's what's like
Like,
blowing my it's like
yes.
whoa.
Whoa. Like, whoa. We don't know anything. We are literally like sometimes I think that, like, 1,000 years from now or whatever, once we get out of the Kali Yuga, they're gonna look back and be like, wow, you guys were dumb. Like,
Well, just like the ignorant, it's like it's the
it's the
mode of
ignorance.
ignorance.
Yeah, it
Or,
is. It is. Oh my God. Kali Yuga.
oh,
Kali Yuga. Cheers to Kali Yuga because
yeah.
wow. Um, okay.
It's just quite crazy. Let me just like take a deep breath and sit up tall, and then can you please read that?
Yeah. All right. We're gonna do Parusa Sukta confirmed. Okay. And you just need to know that. Whatever it means, your higher self actually knows. Lord Brahma said, the mouth of the Virat Purusa, the universal form of the Lord, is the generating center of the voice, and the controlling deity is fire. His skin and 6 other layers are the generating centers of the Vedic hymns. His tongue is the productive center of different foodstuffs and delicacies for offering to the demigods, the forefathers, and the general mass of people. He's like describing how he manifests. Amazing.
His
Text.
2 nostrils are the generating centers of our breathing and of all other airs. His smelling powers generate the Asvini Kumara demigods and all kinds of medicinal herbs, and his breathing energies produce different kinds of fragrance.
His eyes are the generating centers of all kinds of forms, and they glitter and illuminate. His eyeballs are like the sun and the heavenly planets. His ears hear from all sides and are receptacles for all the Vedas. And his sense of hearing is the generating center of the sky and all kinds of sound.
His bodily surface is the breeding ground for the active principles of everything and for all kinds of auspicious opportunities. His skin, like the moving air, is the generating center of all kinds of sense of touch and is the place for performing all kinds of sacrifice.
No wonder Narada is like floating around the universe all over the place after finding all this out,
Right?
right? The hairs on his body are the cause of all vegetation, particularly of those trees which are required as ingredients for sacrifice. The hairs on his head and face are reservoirs for the clouds, and his nails are the breeding ground of electricity, stones, and iron ores. Wow. Wow. I need a
The
painting of this.
yeah.
Seriously.
There must be. I immediately have an image in my head.
right?
The Lord's arms are the protective fields for the great demigods and other leaders of the living entities who protect the general mass.
Text 7. Thus, the forward steps of the Lord are the shelter for the upper, lower, and heavenly planets, as well as for all that we need. His lotus feet serve as protection from all kinds of fear. Mm.
From the Lord's genitals originate water, semen, generatives, rains, and the procreators. His genitals are the cause of a pleasure that counteracts the distress of begetting.
Oh, Narada, the evacuating outlet of the universal form of the Lord is the abode of the controlling deity of death, Mitra, and the
Wow.
evacuating hole and the rectum of the Lord is the place of envy, misfortune, death, hell, etc.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Just wow.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
The back of the Lord is a place for all kinds of frustration and ignorance, as well as for immortality. From his veins flow the great rivers and rivulets, and on his bones are stacked the great mountains.
The impersonal feature of the Lord is the abode of great oceans, and his belly is the resting place for the materially annihilated living entities. His heart is the abode of the subtle material bodies of living beings. Thus, it is known by the intelligent class of men. Wow. I just want to read this little blurb. In the Bhagavad Gita, it's stated that according to human calculations, one day of Brahma is equal to 1,000 ages of 4 millenniums, which are
Wow.
4,300,000 years each. And the same period is calculated to be his night almost. Also, a Brahma lives for 100 such years and then dies. Whoa,
Wow.
that's nuts. Whoa. Like, how advanced are you when you get to be Brahmin? Like, sometimes when I think about even the names of the gods, I wonder, and I just want to ask everyone if this is, I'm maybe way out there, but like, even like the god Indra, is that a role? Is that a title? Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, for example, is that a title? In the sense of like, that's the archetype he embodies. And so, therefore, as the universes are created and destroyed, like over and over, like the entities that are created by Brahma manifest in different ways. And are they all called these different names every time? Because that's their title, that's their role. Like all of those
Right.
gods have a role. We're finding it out. Some are the mouth, some are the eyes, you know what I mean? Some are the
Right.
legs. So, ugh,
Good
I love
question.
everything. I love everything so
Mhm.
much. Text 11.
Text 12,
Well,
actually,
we
right?
said, yeah, we said 11 already. Okay.
Also, the consciousness of that great personality is Also, the consciousness of
Yeah.
that great personality is the abode of religious principles. Mine, yours, and those of the four bachelors Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara, and Sanandana. That consciousness is also the abode of truth and transcendental knowledge.
Wow. Beginning from me, Brahma, down to you and Bhava, Shiva, all the great sages who were born before you, the demigods, the demons, the nagas, the human beings, the birds, the beasts, as well as the reptiles, etc., and all phenomenal manifestations of the universes, namely the planets, stars, asteroids, luminaries, lightning, thunder, and the inhabitants of the different planetary systems, namely the Gandharvas, Aparsas, Yaksas, Raksas, Bhutaganas, Uragas, Pasus, Pitas, Siddhas, Vyadharas, Karnaras, and all other different varieties of living entities, including the birds, beasts, trees, and everything that be, are all covered by the universal form of the Lord at all times, namely past, present, and future. although he is transcendental to all of them, eternally existing in a form not exceeding 9 inches. Stop. What? I'm sorry, what? What? Just what? Wait, what? Wait, what? He is transcendental to all of them, eternally existing in a form not exceeding 9 inches. Shake your face. Right? What? What? Wow. What?
I'm like searching for something to be
know,
said in the
right?
purport, and there's like nothing. They don't even like it's not even like said.
That's nuts. Help us out, anybody that know what
The Supreme
what?
Personality of Godhead, by his partial representation measuring not more than 9 inches as supersoul, expands by his potential energy in the shape of the universal form, which includes everything manifested in different varieties of organic and inorganic materials.
Wow. There's got to be a significance to the number 9.
The manifested varieties of the universe are therefore not different from the Lord, just as golden ornament of different shapes and forms are non-different from the original stock reserve of gold. I'm going to read, this is the last little bit. In other words, the Lord is the supreme person who controls everything within the creation, and still he remains the supreme separate identity, distinct from all manifested material creation. Wow.
Not exceeding 9 inches.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Text
Text 17. The sun illuminates both internally and externally by expanding its radiation. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by expanding his universal form, maintains everything in the creation both internally and externally.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the controller of immortality and fearlessness, and he is transcendental to death and the fruitive actions of the material world. O Narada, O Brahmana, it is therefore difficult to measure the glories of the Supreme Person.
Amen. Hare Krishna to that.
Understatement.
Yeah. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be known as the supreme reservoir of all material opulences by the 1/4 of his energy in which all living entities exist. Deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom from the anxieties of old age and disease exist in the kingdom of God, which is beyond the 3 higher planetary systems and beyond the material coverings.
Yes. The spiritual world, which consists of 3/4 of the Lord's energy, is situated beyond this material world and is especially meant for those who will never be reborn, others who are attached to family life and who do not strictly follow celibacy vows must live within the 3 material worlds. Okay, so 1/4 of it is like the material world, and that's where we're cramming down into Kali Yuga on Earth and doing all the things, all the Earth human things. But 3/4 of it is meant for those who will never be reborn. Wow. Okay.
And this is to the. This is crazy.
I love everything.
Let's just continue. Text 21. By his energies, the all-pervading personality of Godhead is thus comprehensively the master in the activities of controlling and in devotional service. He is the ultimate master of both, what's this word?
Nascence
And factual knowledge of all situations.
from that personality of Godhead, all the universal globes and the universal form with all the material elements, qualities, and senses are generated. Yet he is aloof from such material manifestations like the sun, which is separate from its rays and heat. Wow.
When I was born from the abdominal lotus flower of the Lord, Mahavishnu, the great person, I had no ingredients for the sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the personality of Godhead.
For performing sacrificial ceremonies, one requires sacrificial ingredients, such as flowers, leaves, and straw, along with the sacrificial altar and a suitable time, which
Spring.
spring.
Other requirements are utensils, grains, clarified butter, honey, gold, earth, water, the Rig Veda, Raju Veda, and Samaveda, and 4 priests to perform the sacrifice.
Wow. Okay. There's like an actual thing that they're telling us
Yeah.
that has to be done. Other necessities include invoking the different names of the demigods by specific hymns, excuse me, and vows of recompense in accordance with the particular scripture for specific purposes and by specific processes. Is there like a process for creating different types of universes, I wonder? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what they're using to create this one. But could there be other universes that look and feel completely and totally different, that there's different like ceremonies and ingredients that go into them? One would have to think, honestly, one would
One
have
would
to
have to
think.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if all of our thoughts are just from the collective consciousness, you didn't pull that out of nowhere,
Yeah, it's true,
you
true.
know? Text 27. Thus I had to arrange all these necessary ingredients and paraphernalia of sacrifice from the personal bodily parts of the personality of
Wow.
Godhead. By invocation of the demigod's names, the ultimate goal, Vishnu, was gradually attained, and thus compensation and ultimate offerings were complete.
Thus, I created the ingredients and paraphernalia for offering sacrifice out of the parts of the body of the Supreme Lord, the enjoyer of the sacrifice, and I performed the sacrifice to satisfy the Lord. Mm.
My dear son, therefore your 9 brothers, there's 9 again,
Ah,
who are the masters of living creatures, perform the sacrifice with proper rituals to satisfy both the manifested and non-manifested personalities.
thereafter, the Manus, the fathers of mankind, the great sages, the forefathers, the learned scholars, the Daityas.
Mm.
I can't say it right now. The mankind performed sacrifices meant to please the Supreme Lord.
All the material manifestations of the universe are therefore situated in his powerful material energies, which he accepts self sufficiently, although he is eternally without affinity for the material modes.
By his will, I create. Lord Shiva destroys, and he himself, in his eternal form as the personality of Godhead, maintains everything. He is the powerful controller of these 3 energies. Mm.
So Brahma creates, Lord
Yeah,
Shiva destroys,
yeah.
and the All Supreme maintains.
Maintains. Okay.
My dear son, whatever you inquired from me, I have thus explained unto you, and you must know for certain that whatever there is, either as cause or as effect, both in the material and spiritual worlds, is dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I feel like that just wraps it up right there.
Yeah.
You know, everything that's like, whoa, that was so, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever, everything I just explained is
Yeah.
this. It's dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. Oh, Narada. Because I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, with great zeal, whatever I say has never proved to have been false, nor is the progress of my mind ever deterred, nor are my senses ever degraded by temporary attachment to matter. Ah, okay, because I caught hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever I say has never proven to be false. Okay, I get it. He's never deterred. He's
Mhm.
never degraded. Yeah.
Although I am known as the great Brahma, perfect in the dis how do I say this?
Disciplic.
Disciplic succession of Vedic wisdom, and although I have undergone all austerities and am an expert in mystic powers and self-realization, and although I am recognized as such by the great forefathers of the living entities, who offer me respectful obeisances, still I cannot understand him, the Lord, the very source of my birth. Okay, so how are we?
Yeah, well, we can't then.
Right.
Right, exactly. Okay. Therefore, it is best for me to surrender under his feet. Amen.
Mm.
Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Which alone can deliver one from the miseries of repeated
Mm.
birth and death. Such surrender is all auspicious and allows one to perceive all happiness. Even the sky cannot estimate the limits of its own expansion. So, what can others do when the Lord Himself is unable to estimate His own limits? Wow.
Since
Wow.
since neither Lord Shiva nor you nor I could ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness,
Ascertain.
ascertain.
Mhm.
Since neither Lord Shiva nor you nor I could ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness, how can other
How?
demigods know it?
How?
And because of all of us are bewildered by the illusionary external energy of the Supreme Lord, we can see only this manifested cosmos according to our individual ability.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose incarnations and activities are chanted by us for glorification, though he can hardly be fully known as he is.
Mm.
Mm.
That supreme original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, expanding his plenary portion of the Mahavishnu, the first incarnation, creates this manifested cosmos, but he is unborn.
Mm.
The creation, however, takes place in him, and the material substance and manifestations are all himself. He maintains them for some time and absorbs them into himself again.
Ugh, that's crazy. I love that. That's crazy. So it's like he manifests it, he maintains it, and then he absorbs it back in
Mm.
to do it again, different maybe. Ugh,
Mm.
imagine what you could know. You can't, you really can't. Text 40. The personality of Godhead is pure, being free from all contaminations of material tinges. He is the absolute truth and the embodiment of full and perfect knowledge. He is all pervading, without beginning or end, and without rival. O Narada, the great sage, the great thinkers can know him when completely freed from all material
Mm.
hankerings and when sheltered under undisturbed conditions of the senses. Otherwise, by untenable arguments, all is distorted and the Lord disappears from our sight. That's so true. Ugh, that's so true.
Mm.
I just love that thought about just the surrender. And you can't know, and we know we can't know. So all we can do, this is literally all we can do,
Yeah.
is just surrender and be freed from material nature as best we possibly can. Ugh, so good.
Karana Ranavyasya Sai. That
Yeah.
was rough.
I know it's okay.
Vishnu
Yeah.
is the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and he is the master of eternal time, space, cause and effects, mind, the elements, the material ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form of the Lord. Garbhodakayasyai Vishnu, the sum total of all living beings, both moving and non-moving.
You know, this is like one of those chapters that I get the sense that if we knew the Sanskrit, like the depth of learning here, you can tell the English doesn't quite capture it. You
Right.
can, you can,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
wow. Text 43 through 45. I myself, Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, great generators of living beings like Daksa and Prajapati, yourselves, Narada and the Kumaras, heavenly demigods like Indra and Kandra, the leaders of the Berloka planets, the leaders of the earthly planets, the leaders of the lower planets, the leaders of the Gandharva planets, the leaders of the Vidyahara planets, the leaders of the Karanya Loka planets, the leaders of the Yaksas, Raksas, and Aragas, the great sages, the great demons, the great atheists, the great spacemen, as well as the dead bodies, evil spirits, Satans, jinn, Kuzmandas, great aquatics, great beasts, and great birds, etc. In other words, anything and everything which is exceptionally possessed of power, opulence, mental and perceptual dexterity, strength, forgiveness, beauty, modesty, opulence, and breeding, whether in form or formless, may appear to be the specific truth in the form of the Lord, but actually they are not so. They are only a fragment of the transcendental
Mhm.
potency of the Lord. Wow. That's a
Mhm.
sentence. Holy. Wow. Ugh. Wow. One struggles to really grasp it all.
Yeah.
Truly.
O Narada, now I shall state, one after another, the transcendental incarnations of the Lord known as Leela avatars. Hearing of their activities counteracts all foul matters accumulated in the ear.
Okay.
These pastimes are pleasing to hear and are to be relished. Therefore, they are in my
Hmm.
heart.
Ah. Okay. And that would be chapter
Thus ends.
7.
Yes.
Yep. Chapter 7's going to get into specific incarnations with specific functions. Oh, wow. That's going to be good. Shay. Um, I do want to stop here because that's a lot. That's a lot to take in. And
It's like every time we read, it's like, what did we just
what
read?
was that? What was that? Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna have to read that later again.
I'm gonna
Um
have to I already have to reread the whole first canto and then everything that we've read so far in the second canto.
it's like we're gonna have to get to the end, start back at the beginning, and be
Yes.
like, okay, let's read that
Yes.
again. What did that say? Like,
I
what?
mean, that's kind of what I did with the Gita. The first time I ran through it, I was like, "Oh," but like I didn't really
Mm,
like get, it's like
for
that's I feel
sure.
like we're just like reading our baseline trial run right now
No,
so that we
totally.
can go back and be like, "Okay, now I can say these words and now I understand
Yeah.
the zoom out of all of this."
Yeah. No, completely true.
It's so crazy that we're putting this on YouTube.
It's kind of wild. And I just even think about everything we didn't know before we even heard the Gita.
I
I'll just
know.
speak for myself. That wasn't
Yeah.
that long ago. I
No.
didn't know any of this. So this is just utterly blowing my mind every single moment. And it's like energetically a lot to take in to your
It
body.
is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As it's like as we're saying the words, there's a certain vibration to them that's so powerful that it's like, wow,
I can't even
I feel the gravity of it.
I can't even imagine if it was being spoken to me in Sanskrit. Like,
Yeah.
holy, holy.
Imagine what type of a being is Narada that he could actually just like have a convo with Brahma and like be like, yeah, I'm tracking.
Right. Right.
Like, okay.
That's where it's like I give myself grace because at least I'm
Right.
hearing this. Like maybe I'm not
Seriously.
completely understanding it. Guess what? Doesn't even really matter. I'm just gonna bow down to the lotus feet of the Lord. Remember them
Yeah,
just a parcel of his
totally.
supreme opulence. And
It's true. It's true. I even think that about the Gita, just reading the Gita. There's certain parts of it you definitely can get. It's very clear, you know?
yeah.
Other parts of it, you read it and you're just like, okay, I don't really
Mm-hmm.
get that, but it, like just hearing it, saying it, there's
Mm-hmm.
something going on in my brain that's hopefully clicking, It's
Mm-hmm.
like I was saying,
Yeah.
like my higher self is tracking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, and like less of the brain and more of like my pure
mm,
spirit. My
yeah,
pure
yeah.
spirit like knows what's up.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, I'm really, really excited to be here with you reading this Srimad Bhagavatam. That was amazing. And we will for sure pick this up next week. Thank you so much for joining us, dear friends. Honestly, we say this every time and we mean it. Like this process that Shay and I are going through, learning all this would not be the same without you. And actually, that's why we're on YouTube. That
Yeah.
is why we're on YouTube because we want the devotees to be helping us work through this too. And that's
Yeah.
really what it is. We're looking toward the beautiful devotees that we want to, connect with to help us understand what
It's a
this,
pleasure.
you
It's a
know,
gift.
and just to help to enjoy it with us. And I
Yes.
love that. I love that so much. So, what else? Anything else coming up? So actually, we do have another video dropping on Saturday. Saturday is actually a ridiculously auspicious day astrologically, and that is the reason that I chose this day to drop this video. I'm not going to say what it is, but I will say this. It was a joy and a blessing to be able to do this video. And it has been done in pure love and devotion to Krishna. And I'm sending it to him. And it doesn't matter to me if anybody ever watches it or listens to it, because he already knows about it and he's already seen it and it's for him. And that's it. And I just send it out with love. That's it. It's meant for that. And I'm really excited to have it. I'm to post it, and I will personally be listening to it.
Yes, same.
I will be. So, check that out Saturday morning. Watch for that. So I think that's it. I think we'll
That's
just
it.
wrap it up, and thank you all, dear friends, for joining us. Love and healing and blessings to you, every last one of you. The universe has been wild. It's been intense as hell out there. So I just want to send you some love, and you as well, my dear, dear daughter. It is a
Until
joy to be
next
here with
time.
you too. So yes,
Yes.
until next time,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.